Hi guys, I'm Joe, Charlie Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a spoiler-free book review of Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. I got this book for review from a website called socialbookco.com and I joined it. They will review your form and they will let you join, or they will decline your request to join, and they will send you occasionally books for review. They will send you an email and they will ask you if you want to review this book. And because I had put this book on my wish list, they asked me if I wanted to review this book, and obviously I said yes, because Jennifer Niven is one of my favorite authors and obviously I would love to read her new release. But I got this book from Social Book Co, so thank you so much for sending me this book. This is a YA contemporary that follows two characters, Libby and Jack. Libby was once dubbed America's fattest teen. Since then she has lost some weight, but she still is struggling with her weight and she still gets bullied because of it. This book starts when Libby is going to high school. She was homeschooled because she couldn't leave the house because of her weight, and now she has lost the weight. She is going back to high school, and in high school she meets Jack, who is the other main character. He struggles with face blindness, or prosopagnosia, I believe it's called. He can't recognize people, but he has identifiers for people, as he calls them, which basically means he can recognize their hair if it's a particular color, or if they have big hair, or if they have a bigger weight like Libby has, but he can't identify their faces, not even his own family. It's about both those teens struggling with their own problems, but also meeting each other and helping each other with those problems. And there is a huge family aspect in this, which I absolutely loved. I also have to say, there was a minor LGBTQ plus element in this, and Jack is a black main character. He's from a black family. I absolutely loved that. It wasn't a big aspect of the story, but it was in there, and I loved how Jennifer Niven managed to implement all of this in this book and didn't make it a huge thing, a huge issue like it is in most books that deal with a character of color, because it's then suddenly about racism, and that is not what this book was about. Jack was a popular kid. I absolutely love that, because that is how most of the time it is going in real life as well. Jack bullied Libby, but he regressed it from the moment he did it. But the thing that Jack did one particular thing to Libby, which I absolutely didn't get. I didn't get why he did. I don't think he even got why he did it himself. And I was so disappointed in him for it. Like, I had a hard time forgiving him for it. I think I didn't even forgive him because I just didn't get it. Libby was such a strong main character. I absolutely loved her as a character. She was always trying to be confident and happy and bubbly and trying to come to terms with herself. I also particularly loved how Libby's father was always there for her. He took care of her. He was proud of her. In comparison to Jennifer Niven's first YA book, All the Bright Places, which I absolutely loved when I read it for the first time, and it just had such a magical feeling to it. In comparison, this one was not as good as All the Bright Places for me. It didn't have that magical feeling. It didn't make me cry at all, even though it was supposed to be an emotional read. But All the Bright Places did that all for me. I connected to the characters so much that maybe because it was about bipolar disorder and about depression, which I have suffered myself with, but I have not suffered with face blindness or with weight issues. So I feel like I couldn't connect to the characters as much as I did with All the Bright Places. I do feel like Libby is a relatable main character. Maybe not for me, but she has, not because of the weight issues, but because of other anxieties and other insecurities she has, and I feel like she would be a very relatable character for a lot of people. Aside from that, this is a book that will make you feel less alone, like All the Bright Places did, because every character in this book has flaws, they all have insecurities, they have all doubts about their lives and their futures. I love the aspect of face blindness in this, because we see the story from Jack's perspective. We hear about face blindness quite a lot, and I love learning about it. because I have not heard about phase blindness before. I didn't know it was a thing, and I thought it was a very interesting thing because there's not really a cure for phase blindness. I did feel like this one was a bit too similar in structure to All the Bright Places. It is basically about a boy meeting a girl. They both have problems and they both try to save each other. Only this time it was about weight issues and phase blindness instead of bipolar disorder and depression. I love how much research Jennifer Niven puts into her books. Like, she always has some kind of experience with the things in this book. Like, she has family members that suffer from phase blindness. She also did a lot of research, talked to doctors, she looked things up in books and online. She has also had some issues with her weight in the past, so I think it's very interesting that she used her own experiences to work that into a book. I did think the ending of this book was a bit too convenient because it was just too happy and everything was resolved, and that's not how it goes in real life. Not everyone has a happy ending, and I am not really a person for a sappy contemporary novel with a happy ending. I like to have realistic endings, and I do think most side characters in this book were kind of shallow and one-dimensional, mostly stereotypes, but except for the two main characters and maybe their family members, but like the main characters' friends were all really shallow and one-dimensional, or very stereotypical, and I thought they could have been fleshed out a bit more. This is my review for Holding Up the Universe. Let me know down below if you have read Holding Up the Universe and what you thought about it, or if you are planning on reading it. I would love to know. So thank you for watching. Goodbye!